Let me tell you about the three best quarterbacks in the NFL.
You're going to be a football player when you grow up?
Three kids that grew up with a ball in their hands.
They have dominated the competition.
Who could knock over a street lamp from a block away.
Right between two defenders.
Peyton Manning was supposed to be the best, and he had to live with
He
that.
is white hot.
Tom Brady was not supposed to be anything until he was.
The Patriots are going to be Super Bowl champions again.
Brett Favre nearly lost his way, then created his own.
A monumental milestone in a legendary career.
Holy cow.
Score! 36 seconds left. Brady drives him 60 yards.
What makes a franchise quarterback anyway? Quick feet, strong arm, good decisions. They have that. They're also tough as nails, ice water in their veins, all that crap. They just love the game, and they want to win. Would you bet against one of these quarterbacks with a game on the line? I wouldn't.
Hey, finish your blocks down here, all right? Let's get it in.
All right, here we go. Let's get some yards here. One on, right 35, on one. Ready?
Check. Flood left.
Green 19! Right 20! Green 19 says...
Well, you can spell Peyton Manning MVP today. I'm telling you, he is white hot.
Manning, Brady, and Favre. Three Super Bowl quarterbacks at the top of their game.
Airs it out, downfield. Randy Moss is there. Touchdown! Tom Brady right on the button with that one.
Two are in their prime, while one enjoyed a football renaissance.
Favre lofts it deep down the middle. Yes! Touchdown! I don't think I've ever seen him this accurate.
I'm just old and washed up.
They are iconic figures, and their popularity is greater than the game.
I've really had some good conversations.
But then again, they've always been Joe Cool.
And with us today, we have a couple of celebrities, Tommy Brady and the two Cervelli boys.
And football has always been in their blood.
I grew up just south of San Francisco in a town called San Mateo. Being in the Bay Area, I was a huge San Francisco 49er fan, and I had watched Joe Montana, the best of all time. That's what I wanted to be.
As an NFL quarterback who just wins, Brady is often compared to Montana. But growing up, his three older sisters got all the headlines.
All three of those girls are better athletes than I am.
How do you feel about your sisters playing baseball?
I don't care.
I was like, people always refer to me as a baby brother. So maybe one day, my sisters were referred to as Tommy's sisters.
Growing up in Louisiana, Peyton Manning was often referred to as Archie's son. His dad happened to be the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints.
Peyton, who's your favorite football player, then?
My dad.
Your dad's your favorite football player, too? Well, you're on the right track. You're going to be a football player when you grow up?
Mm-hmm.
Started when I was 3 years old, always had a game in the backyard. I'm not talking about touchies, I'm talking about full pads, official uniform. I was kind of a fat, pudgy kid, but I could always pick up the ball and throw it pretty naturally, which I think is why I've had some success at quarterback. People ask me what position I would play besides quarterback, I just say coach.
Now we're gonna beat them. They ain't beating us, all right? We're gonna win the dang game. Let's go.
Manning, number 14, was a star in high school. So were his brothers. Eli, the youngest, now plays quarterback for the New York Giants. Cooper, the oldest, was Manning's go-to receiver.
I was a sophomore. My brother Cooper was a senior. I completed about 110 passes that year, and I threw 80 to my brother Cooper. The other receivers obviously weren't too happy. We had our own signals, our own plays. It was really a lot of fun. He was a great receiver, but he was injured in his freshman year at Ole Miss, and he had to give up football. So I changed my jersey number. I wear 18 today because I still feel like I'm playing my football for my brother who doesn't have a chance to play anymore.
Brett Favre grew up on a bayou in Kiln, Mississippi. His father, Irv, never played professional football, but he hoped his son would.
My dad was a football and baseball coach, and That's all I knew. As far back as I can remember, I had a baseball in one hand and a football under my arm.
My first game ever, 5th grade jamboree, 3 touchdowns running. I got in the end zone, the guy pulled my pants down.
And looking back, I know that he was much tougher on me than the other kids.
If you get hurt, you crawl off the field. When you can't crawl off the field, I'll come get you.
As hard as he was on me, I wouldn't trade the way I was raised. Because when I got in front of other coaches, they were tough, but, you know, it was like, at least I don't have to eat supper with them, you know. I mean, it doesn't get any tougher than that.
Captains for tonight's game, for Hancock North Central, number 10, Brett Favre.
Favre's dad didn't call many pass plays in high school, but a little gunslinger leaked through anyway.
I mean, it was a lot of like the things that you see me do today. Leaving the pocket, you know, making plays on the run. That's what I did.
And although he dressed for success, Favre knew even then he would only go as far as his right arm could take him.
I always knew I had a strong arm. I mean, in 7th, 8th grade, I started realizing that I'm able to throw it further than some of these high school kids. And I knew, I said, this is my ticket.
In 2007, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning both passed for over 4,000 yards. So did Brett Favre, who must have discovered the fountain of youth, surpassing 4,000 yards in his 17th season.
What a throw by Brett Favre. Favre throws the right side. He's going to jump down the sidelines. Touchdown! What a beautiful throw.
It's a surprising feat considering the number of Division I scholarships Favre was offered. 1 from nearby southern Mississippi.
I really think I can play. I think I got the good arm, and I think if they give me a shot, I think I can do it for them.
Southern Miss put a freshman in at quarterback, Brett Favre, and Favre shows some cool on this one, finding Chris McGee for the touchdown.
Running an offense that catered to his strong arm, Favre flourished. By the end of his junior year, he was being touted as a Heisman contender. Then it all came to a screeching halt. Weeks before his senior season, a car accident nearly took Favre's life.
I remember him sticking a tube in my nose. I'm wide awake, blood's gushing out of my nose. And they said, we got to have emergency surgery. 30 inches of your intestines has died, and we have to take it out now.
I'm in so much pain right now, I can hardly raise out of this bed.
Some of his intestines were removed, but he still had guts. Just a month later, Favre suited up against powerhouse Alabama.
We want to get this cleared now. Brett Favre will start.
He barely passed for 100 yards, but he played, and he won, showing the fortitude that would later define his NFL career.
Southern Mississippi Eagles upset Alabama 27-24.
Unlike Favre, Peyton Manning was one of the top high school recruits in the nation, fielding scholarship offers from every major program. At the University of Tennessee, he was as good as advertised, a strong-armed quarterback with an aptitude for the game.
They're running a man-to-man route versus zone. That cornerback really shouldn't give that up. He should just sit right there.
Manning went 39-6 as a starter and broke 33 school records.
We gotta just keep going. We gotta get going. We can't stop.
Manning looking in the end zone. Throws. Touchdown!
But for all his talents, it seemed Peyton Manning came up short in the biggest games. He was 0 for 4 against rival Florida and never won a national championship. Still, Manning's NFL future was assured. Tom Brady had to work a little harder.
Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce my starting quarterback from this past season, Tom Brady. Tom is a 6'4", 210-pound athlete. He's a big, strong, very durable athlete, and definitely has a Division I arm.
He got noticed by one of the best programs in the country. But Michigan coaches had no idea what they had in Tom Brady.
It was a very tough situation at Michigan. I started as the 7th quarterback on the depth chart, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to play. But all that competition in practice really prepared me for the opportunity when I did get a chance to start.
As a senior in 1999, Brady led the Wolverines to an overtime win in the Orange Bowl, throwing 4 touchdown passes. But Brady didn't fit the prototype of an NFL quarterback and fell to the Patriots in the 6th round of the NFL draft.
When you're the 199th pick, it was like, whew. You know, I was thinking about, as those other 198 names were called, what the heck I was going to do for the rest of my life.
He would start by reminding his new boss, Robert Kraft, who the heck he was.
I remember the first time he met me, he called me Kyle Brady. The tight end. All he knew was Brady. So he said, "Hey, Kyle." And I kind of let it go. I mean, I wasn't going to say anything to the owner. I was 22 years old. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Kraft," I said, "I'm Tom Brady." And I said, "Well, I just want to tell you, it's, one of the best decisions you ever made picking me."
Well, Brady was relieved to be drafted at all. Peyton Manning was being considered for the top overall pick. His lack of a championship pedigree was the only thing keeping his #1 status in doubt.
I had a meeting with Jim Mora and Bill Polian. Both these guys are intimidating guys, and I am nervous. I mean, don't get me wrong. And I said, look, here's the deal. I'd actually probably like to come here to Indianapolis, but I will say, if you don't take me, I'm going to kick your butt for the next 15 years.
The Colts took Manning, and they took a chance that he would deliver a championship at the next level. Tom Brady has made over 100 consecutive regular season starts. Peyton Manning more than 150. And Brett Favre holds the NFL record with over 250 in a row. They are as reliable as franchise quarterbacks come.
University of Tennessee.
But only Manning was expected to be the franchise from the day he was drafted.
I remember them asking me when I was on that stage, it's a bad question they ask players now, is what are you going to do with all this money you just made? And I said, I'm going to earn it.
Blue 15, orange 34, red 18. Hut, hut.
It didn't take long for the Colts' investment to start paying off, as Manning showcased his potential the very first time he dropped back to pass.
Nathan ends small to the left side. Harrison to the right. Falk is the lone back, showing blitzes Seattle.
Red 12! Red 12! Hut.
3rd down and 5. Drops to throw the quick pass over the middle. Caught by Harris. He's gone! Peyton Manning's first throw, a 48-yard touchdown.
Not a bad start.
Who wrote that script?
Manning was called on to be the starter from day one, and he started every game that '98 season.
I was real excited that I was going to play as a rookie because you can only learn so much on the sidelines. The more you can be out there on the field, seeing the blitz, making the audibles, the better off you're going to be if you're out there facing the live bullets.
Hey, we might the 24 out there. We might the 24 out there. 10, hut.
Manning sets up, look, fires one downfield. He's got it! What a catch! Touchdown!
And that experience as a rookie really helped me going into my second season.
After a 3-13 rookie year, Manning led the Colts to the greatest single-season turnaround in league history, going 13-3 in 1999.
Fires it down the sideline. It's headed for Edgerrin. He's got it! What a catch! Touchdown! The Colts have won the AFC East for the first time in 12 years.
While Manning's career had taken off, Brett Favre's began less auspiciously. He was passed over for the likes of Todd Marinovich on draft day. When Favre's name was finally called, it proved to be a bad omen.
Atlanta has selected Brett Favre, quarterback, Southern Mississippi.
Well, when I got to Atlanta, from the get-go, Jerry Glanville, he had it out for me.
Where's Mississippi? Is he throwing spirals? He throws spirals, we're going to have a damn party. Mississippi, you're not going to play tonight?
Let me, I will.
I'll tell you what, we got to have 2 plane wrecks and 4 quarterbacks go down, and you're it.
Needless to say, I didn't get too many opportunities to play.
I was hoping it would snow today. Build a snowman on the sideline, or hit Billy with snowball.
Ostracized in Atlanta, Favre's immaturity soon made him unwelcome.
I did everything in my power to have them in their staff meeting say, you know, this guy's, you know, he's a jackass. I missed the team picture in Atlanta because I was hungover. I tell people I played for Atlanta, and if they happen to get the team picture, they're going, what a liar. You didn't play for them.
Favre was traded to Green Bay before the start of the 1992 season, where he was stuck behind incumbent and fan favorite Don Majkowski.
I worked hard, practiced hard. I watched film, but I had to be honest. I mean, when I first started watching film, I was just watching the game.
Like that.
I kept hearing our coaches talk about nickel. Well, I just played along. Okay, you had nickels in, you know. Finally, one day I pulled Ty aside and said, Ty, what are they talking about when they say nickel? He looks at me, he goes, you're joking, right? And I said, no. I said, what is nickel? He says, well, they pull out a linebacker and they bring in a DB, passing situation. And I said, that's it? He said, yeah, that's it. I said, who cares?
Tom Brady also had much to learn. In 2000, he entered training camp as the Patriots' fourth-string quarterback behind All-Pro Drew Bledsoe.
You know, I'm sure none of the guys were thinking as the 6th-round pick that I would be around.
I can't stand it. Run it again. Huddle up and run it again, Brady.
I learned at Michigan the best way to learn is by to watch other guys. And, you know, that's really what I was focused on.
Talk to me about your favorites, because yeah, just talk to me about under. Love under, okay.
I like sticks.
Okay.
I like double seam. I
All
like
right.
10 seam.
Okay. You just want to throw so you can get on TV, huh?
Yeah.
Brady's chance to play came at the expense of his mentor in the second game of the 2001 season.
It was the hardest hit I've ever heard.
I'm not sure he's going to get up on this one. He really got hit.
Tom Brady, a second-year quarterback from Michigan, is in the ball game.
You prepare yourself as hard as you can for the opportunity to play. And then once you get your opportunity, you don't ever want to be taken off the field.
Being taken off the field is one thing Brett Favre hasn't considered since he replaced injured starter Don Majkowski in the third game of the 1992 season.
And Majkowski is down and hurting. Somehow he got his leg twisted.
For the quarterback who would set the NFL record for consecutive starts, Favre's Ironman debut looked to be short-lived.
I played horrible. I was fumbling. I was running around and just, I think I lost 2 or 3 fumbles and could have lost 6 or 7. It's kind of like, hell, it's got to get better than this, you know, because I won't be around long.
The start was mediocre. The finish, the stuff of legend.
Well, you got 1:07. You still got a chance. If you score a touchdown and an extra point, you could win it.
I knew I had to do something, and they allowed me to just kind of gunsling a little bit and just do what I do best.
You got to hurry. Come on. Favre goes straight back in the pocket. Now he pumps it. Now he's going to the end zone. There's a man. He's wide open. Touchdown. It is caught by the wide open. And the Packers win it 24-23. How about that?
Brett Favre's first NFL game was legendary, but his early career was a bit of an adventure.
Holy smoke. I mean, he's all over the joint here. Why didn't he?
I was willing to do whatever it would take to be a great quarterback, but I didn't know what that was.
He was all gunslinger. He had tremendous natural ability, but lacked patience.
Now, are you all right? Yeah. No more rocket balls, please.
I was able to offset some of what I hadn't learned yet by my playmaking ability.
In traffic. Wow. How? I don't know. Right between 2 defenders.
Mike's over here. Great play. Okay.
Favre tested coach Mike Holmgren, but the quarterback caught on fast. By 1995, he was the league's most valuable player and its most exciting.
Now goes back to the left. He can run. Still throws a touchdown. Holy cow.
No one does it better than Brett Favre.
That's it. That's it. That's awesome.
Like Favre, Tom Brady's spirit is infectious.
He is down to the 5, and he's in. Touchdown, Tom Brady.
And he gets up and spikes the ball and goes wild here at Foxborough.
Whether I throw it, whether we run it in, but I'm going to celebrate when we score.
Brady, Manning, and Favre see the football field as their personal sandlot.
Hell yeah. Gotta love it. Practice, this you like.
Hey, watch this block by the kid here.
I think you beat Daddy. I think you beat Daddy. Put her in the old mice.
Of the three, Favre is the biggest practical jokester.
Way to overcome your coaching. Man, them are some tight pants you got on, Bubba.
Yeah, I know.
Oreo cookie.
I know.
Hey, what you got to say about it, Frank?
You think God never farted?
Oh, what was it? I'm just doing it all. We have multiple flags on the play. I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit. Okay?
Peyton Manning tends to be more businesslike as the captain and conductor of one of the most complex offenses in the NFL.
Short ox! Short ox! Short ox! Richmond, Florida, Buffalo! Louisville Soul Train! Louisville Soul Train! Take flood left! Flood left! 50's Mike! Reggie! You got him!
But surprisingly, Manning does have a funny bone.
Who lost my chin strap?
Peyton, I said it would be here.
Where is it?
I knew it was coming.
I'd rather you lose anything but my chin strap.
And we'll get you on it. We'll get you taken care of.
You know how long it takes to mold and fit a chin strap? At least a month.
At least I play.
That's one thing my dad, he said, it's always got to be fun. I mean, you have to work hard and you have to put a lot of time into it, but you can't ever get where you're not enjoying yourself.
Y'all fix this yourselves, y'all. It's good stuff. The other guys, it's usually doesn't have the flavor to it. I've done a good job today. How much y'all charge? Nothing for free?
Though they all can be kids at heart, their passion drives them to be the best in the game at the most watched position.
Who hit me? Somebody hit it harder than that. I didn't hit you, dog. That was you hit me. I thought you hit harder than that.
I've always just had a true love and passion for the game, which I think is why I love this game so much, because I enjoy going to work every day and really just I live for Sundays.
You better be strong there, baby. Better muscle his ass out of there.
That's the most fun I have throughout, my life, is going out on the football field and playing catch.
We're gonna fight! We're gonna lay down!
I think people see that. People say, hey, man, Tom's having a hell of a time. Let's just hop on his back and we'll go with it. And I'm gonna have a hell of a time, too, doing it.
I'd like to think I'm pretty exciting, and I'd like to think I put on a show.
I gotta see this. This Favre out here. Brett Favre.
To hear people say, I would pay X amount of money to go watch Brett Favre play, it may be good, it may be bad, but I love to watch him play. That's the way I play the game. I will give you everything I got, and I will compete to the end.
In the NFL, the best quarterbacks win championships. The more, the better. In 1996, Brett Favre rode a second straight MVP season all the way to the Super Bowl.
Here's Brett Favre back to throw. He looks out of time going to the end zone. There's Dorsey, 11. Touchdown, Dorsey. Green Bay starts celebrating. We are on our way to the city of New Orleans.
As Favre prepared to play Super Bowl 31, history provided some inspiration.
Sitting in that hotel room all week, they have a Super Bowl channel. And you just relive the highlights from all the Super Bowls over and over and over again. And the day of the game, they kept showing the 49ers playing Denver in New Orleans in the Super Bowl. And they keep showing Joe Montana checking to 59 Razor.
Black 59 Razor! Black 59 Razor! 39
Pump fake by Montana. Launches it for the end zone. Jerry Rice! Oh, what a catch by Rice!
And I was thinking, man, that had to be awesome, just checking that play in the Super Bowl and hitting it. Well, we didn't have 59, but we had the same play. We just changed the number system up. Well, lo and behold, like the second play of the game, New England changed their defense up a little bit.
Here is the 2nd down and 9. Brett Favre appears to be changing plays at the line of scrimmage.
So I'd take a gamble and check to it, and it works out perfect.
Brett to throw. Here they come. He's got time. He's throwing it downfield. He's got him wide open. It is going to be a touchdown to Andre Rison. Rison takes it across the goal line.
Look at Brett Favre coming off the field. He is so happy.
I can't believe it works in of all places, the Super Bowl, and I've been watching it all day on TV.
The Vince Lombardi Trophy is coming home. World champion, Green Bay Packers.
As the league MVP, Favre was expected to star on the game's grandest stage. Tom Brady entered Super Bowl 36 as a 14-point underdog. Still, the first-year starter kept the Patriots in the game.
Brady drops back to throw. Looks, fires right. Touchdown, David Patton! Touchdown, David Patton!
With the score tied late in the fourth quarter, the Patriots had a decision to make. Play for overtime or play for the win.
Charlie came over, our offensive coordinator, and he said, we're going to go for it. You know, we're going to go win this. Just as I'm running on the field, Charlie kind of grabs me. He says, hey, take care of that ball. And Drew was kind of standing next to me, and he kind of just shuffled in front of that, and he says, go out there and sling it.
Brady stands in the pocket, dumps it off to the left, complete to J.R. Redmond, 30, 35, to the 40, and a first down. Brady steps up, fires down the field, caught. Troy Brown at the 40, stopping the clock at the Ram 36. Looks, fires over the middle, caught by Jermaine Wiggins down to the 30-yard line of St. Louis. The Patriots have to come up and snap the ball down here. 9 seconds left, throws the ball to the ground with 7 seconds left, and Adam Vinatieri will try to win it with a 47-yard field goal attempt. Set to go, snap ball down, kick up, kick is on the way, and it is good! It's good! It's good! And the Patriots are Super Bowl champions!
I had no idea the magnitude. No idea. It all set in. We're Super Bowl champs. And I was looking at my sisters, and I saw them sitting over there, and I kind of looked like, can you believe this? And this is just unbelievable.
Peyton Manning's road to legendary status did not start with a championship. It began with eye-popping numbers, 6 straight seasons of over 4,000 yards passing, and a previously untouchable NFL record.
Peyton Manning is tied with Dan Marino.
And Mr. Peyton, protection stays in. He throws to Stokely. That's the record breaker.
It's number 49, and Dan Marino can take a step back. Peyton Manning's the leader.
The record they thought would never be broken has been broken.
For all his success, Manning could not overcome the Patriots in the postseason.
Pressure coming. He throws the back of the end zone.
Back-to-back playoff losses to Tom Brady in 2003 and 2004 furthered the notion that this former number 1 pick couldn't win the big game.
Direct snap to Manning, pump fakes, fires to the right, and it is intercepted.
Believe me, it was frustrating, it was disappointing, but I was very upfront and honest with it. And I never tried to hide from the fact. I said, hey, we've had some good seasons, but the facts are what they are. And we have not won a championship since I've been the quarterback here.
The NFL's most valuable player. It's the highest honor a current player can receive. Brett Favre has won it 3 times. Peyton Manning has won it twice. But before 2007, Tom Brady had only been named MVP of a Super Bowl, 2 to be exact.
Let's go, Let's go, baby. Let's go get it. Cali style, baby. Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
Super Bowl 38 turned into a shootout that relied heavily on Brady's right arm.
Brady play action fake, end zone, touchdown! Touchdown to David Gibbons!
He's got it at the 30. He's to the 20. Stephon's a tackler. Touchdown, Carolina.
Showing up ain't over yet. We gotta give us another. Not with that dude with that quarterback. No, sir. Don't count on it being over.
Once again, Brady was called upon to win the Super Bowl on a last-minute drive.
Super Bowl 38. What more can you ask for? Snap, ball down, kick up, kick is on the way, kick is good! Kick is good! It's over! Super Bowl champions again!
You didn't doubt it, did you?
In 1997, Brett Favre took the Packers to a second straight Super Bowl, but he was unable to deliver a second title.
32 seconds left. Here is Brett, straight back in a pocket. Got some time, comes up over the middle, threw it badly. And Denver will win the Super Bowl.
After you win one, it's great. For a couple of days, you're on top of the world. After you lose one, it just stays with you forever. I mean, it's awful. You relive plays in that game way more than you relive plays in the game you won.
Over the next 7 years, Favre won only 2 playoff games. Many of his Super Bowl teammates had moved on, and number 4 took a beating. Although injuries could not keep him off the field, the losses nearly sent him into retirement.
I'm so drained right now.
In 2003, Favre's Ironman streak was threatened by an injury to his thumb in the first game.
And he said it was broken. I mean, it was like, you got to be kidding. My throwing hand? First thing I thought, there's no way you can throw with a broken thumb.
He taped it up, and he played. Incredibly, he went on to lead the league in touchdown passes for the 4th time, tying an NFL record. Later that season, Favre suffered a tragic loss. His father passed away the day before a game against Oakland.
For about 5 minutes, there was some indecision on whether or not I was going to play, just me in the bedroom. It didn't take long for me to say, you got to play in this game. What better way to honor your father than playing this game? I mean, and that's truly what he would have wanted me to do.
He knows when to be business, and he knows when to play.
Get your ass out there and play. Are you crazy? I mean, I could see him saying that. I got almost a standing ovation from the fans. I mean, I really appreciated the Oakland fans for that. But I said, if they do it, there's no doubt the rest of the country feels the same way. Words couldn't even explain how I felt from the response I got.
Favre responded to the worst moment in his life with the best game of his career. He threw for 399 yards and 4 touchdowns.
I believe in God. I was born and raised Catholic and never really considered myself overly spiritual. If there was ever divine intervention, he was there that night.
I knew my dad would want me to play, and I love him so much and love this game, and it's meant a great deal to me, to my dad, and to my family, and I didn't expect this type of performance, but I know he was watching tonight.
In 2004, Tom Brady won his 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years. Manning had yet to win one.
Usually to get to the Super Bowl, somehow, some way, it's going to go through New England. It's like somebody said, aren't you glad you're playing the Patriots at home? Isn't this the way it should be? I'm like, no, I'm really not. I think I would like to have played Oakland or somebody. The team, I think they had the worst record in football that year. That would have been fine with me. Every time I play them, I don't sleep real well that week because I know what kind of challenge it's going to be.
The start of the game was a nightmare. The Colts fell behind 21-3.
Intercepted, left side, Asante Samuel, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Asante Samuel.
And Manning injured the thumb on his throwing hand.
I'm doing whatever I can to complete this pass, and I got down the left sideline, and I throw it, and boy, it comes right down on the helmet. I know right away, I said, this is not good. Bleeding, the fingernail had bent back, so I'm, sucking the blood off my hand. I try to throw a couple, and I'm going, just ugly looking passes. Okay.
Manning braved the injury like Favre and executed a comeback like Brady.
2 minutes and 17 seconds, we got one timeout. And it's, hey, this is what you dream for.
He's going to throw one downfield, intended for Brian Fletcher. He's got it. It gets out of bounds at the New England 37-yard line. Joseph right up the middle, touchdown! He ran right up the middle and scores with a minute left.
I remember right then I was looking at the clock. I said, they still got 2 timeouts, and they got over a minute to go, and they got Tom Brady at quarterback. I mean, this is kind of where he's made his mark. I've never done this before, ever in my life. I've never prayed during a game. And I bent my head down, and I just said, dear Lord, if one time you can just not let Tom make this comeback drive and allow us to win this game of the Super Bowl, that would be a good thing. Amen. You know, probably added in there that Tom's already got 3 Super Bowl rings, and he probably doesn't really need another one at this point. So I tried to make it a fair prayer.
In 2006, Peyton Manning finally led his team past the Patriots and on to a Super Bowl. Now he had a chance to separate himself from one of his boyhood idols, Dan Marino.
In 1984 was when my dad retired and Marino was just coming into the league, and so he took over for my dad as my favorite player. And Marino, a lot of his yards and touchdowns were against the Colts.
It seems Manning has always been linked to Marino. His first career start came against Marino and the Dolphins. He broke Marino's single-season touchdown record in 2004. Together, they were thought of as the best quarterbacks never to win a Super Bowl. And on the day Manning hoped to end that comparison, he drove down Marino Boulevard to Marino's old home.
I was very cognizant of who I was in people's minds. This is a guy with great stats, never won a Super Bowl. This might be it for me.
Playing for a lot of people tonight, all right? Our families, our coach, our city, but man, let's play for each other, all right?
That's it, baby.
I love every one of you guys. Bring this championship home tonight.
The Bears returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Manning threw an interception on the Colts' first series.
Ooh, this has been a rugged start for the Colts.
And it poured for the first time in Super Bowl history.
Let's go, oh! Put it on!
Peyton Manning overcame a driving rain to throw for 247 yards. En route to the game's MVP and his first Super Bowl title.
Fakes the snap, sets up, steps up in the pocket, rolls away, throws one downfield. Reggie's there, got it to 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Reggie Wayne! Peyton got hit as he threw, but got it up into the air with a wind in his back, and Reggie was wide open at the Bear 20.
Fittingly, the engineer of the Colts' high-powered offense orchestrated the start of the celebration.
Go now. No, wait till the clock buzzes. Wait till the game's over with.
The Colts are world champions! World champions for the first time since 1971.
I immediately looked for Tony, and to see him get lifted up. I mean, to me, that's what I always think about Super Bowls, is that head coach being carried off the field. And I've always wanted to be a part of the reason that he could get lifted up. So seeing that kind of made me realize we have done it. We have won the Super Bowl. And people say, was it joy? Was it relief? I guess it was some relief in the fact that I don't have to answer those questions anymore. Felt real good.
For Peyton Manning, winning Super Bowl 41 was satisfying, but it couldn't curb his hunger for more.
We brought this championship back to Indianapolis. And of course, now that you do it once, there's nothing more than you want but to go do it again.
In 2007, Manning again clashed with old foe Tom Brady when their undefeated teams met in Week 9.
Peyton on second down and goal. Quarterback sneak. Touchdown! The Colts lead 20-10.
That's what I'm talking about, Pete.
20 set.
This time, Brady led the comeback, battling from 10 points down to keep the Patriots perfect.
Fires down the middle. It's caught by Falk. He drives it in. Touchdown! And the Patriots have come from behind.
If there was any solace for the Colts, it was that they weren't the only team to come up short against the Patriots in 2007.
27.
Week after week of the regular season saw Brady and company churn out victory after victory.
And the Patriots machine is in high gear.
New England's offense was so explosive, it set the NFL scoring record with 589 points in a season. In the regular season finale, Brady himself broke Peyton Manning's single-season touchdown record.
Fires it to the right, down the right sideline, and caught at the 20-15, 10-5, touchdown, Patriots. Tom Brady, touchdown pass number 50. And the Patriots will become the first team since the 1972 Miami Dolphins to go through a regular season undefeated. 16-0, perfection personified by the Patriots.
After wrapping up the first perfect regular season in 35 years, Brady was named the league's most valuable player, as if that really mattered to him.
I'm going to do everything I can every single week to get my team out there to go out there and win games. That's the only thing I care about, and there's nothing in my life that's more important.
When it comes to winning games, no one is more seasoned than Brett Favre. In Week 2, he passed John Elway to become the winningest quarterback of all time.
The 149th win for Favre.
2 weeks later, he moved past another legend when he broke Dan Marino's record for career touchdown passes.
Silent 3. Scat. 300. Double stick nod. X-Indy. Silent 3.
Here's the snap. Brett looking, drills the middle. He's got Jennings. Touchdown! And there it is, a monumental milestone in a legendary career. Woo! Yeah! Brett Favre has passed Dan Marino to become the National Football League's all-time leading touchdown passer.
421 touchdown passes, more than any other man in NFL history.
What you remember most is the games that got you there, and the practices and the bus rides. It's the journey. You know, and all this stuff's going through my mind. And I think the excitement after that shows.
He's never been about numbers, and that's probably why he's got them all.
I love playing on this team so much. I do. Let's keep this going. Let's go.
Favre kept it going, all the way to the playoffs, where a snowy Lambeau Field once again became his personal playground.
He's hit, spins away, stumbling, rolling right, shovels it forward. He's got Donald Lee inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Oh, you talk about improvisation.
He's able to keep his balance, shovel the ball to Donald Lee. Just a great individual play by a great player.
But the good times wouldn't last. A week later, in the NFC Championship, Favre's quest for a second Super Bowl title went up in smoke.
Here's the snap, high snap placement made. Bend over end kick to the uprights, and it's good! And the Giants have won.
As good as I felt after winning, it compared nothing to how I felt after losing.
The postseason was not kind to Peyton Manning either, as the Colts' hopes for a Super Bowl repeat came down to one play.
Here's the ball game, 4th and 5. The Chargers will rush in on Peyton Manning. Passes up in the air. Dallas Clark couldn't hold it.
They've taken it away from the world champion.
There will be no repeat.
I don't care what they say. You're the best quarterback in football.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Bless you.
Good luck to you. Thanks.
When you win, it's the greatest feeling in the world. There's nothing like it. But when you lose, it's the pits. I never liked the guys that said, well, we'll get them next year. It's supposed to bother you.
Nothing seemed to bother Tom Brady in the playoffs. Against the Jaguars, he completed an NFL record 93% of his passes and threw 3 touchdowns.
Brady stands in, fires end zone, touchdown.
Tom Brady just won't quit.
Move 27. The Patriots' relentless attack continued in the AFC Championship game.
Brady looking, firing end zone, touchdown to Wes Welker. The Patriots are 18-0, and for the 4th time in 7 years, Super Bowl, here we come.
But Brady's reputation for Super Bowl heroics would once again be put to the test. With Peyton looking on, it was Eli Manning who put the Patriots in a 4th quarter hole.
Manning to throw to the end zone, touchdown, and the Giants have the lead. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriots, down by 3.
I just want to go out there and do the best that I can do. I put tremendously high expectations on myself to do that. That if our offense doesn't do well, that's my responsibility. That's my role as quarterback. That's my job, and I take that very seriously.
Wide, 26! Brady looking, fires over the middle, caught by Welker, first down at midfield to the Giants' 43. Brady stands in over the middle, it goes, complete inside the 10, and another Patriots first down. Brady looks, fires, touchdown! Tom Brady rifles a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Patriots regain the lead. So Brady does what he had to do, and now the defense will have to do what they have to do.
But all Brady could do was look on as Peyton's kid brother engineered the game-winning drive.
Shotgun snap, he's got it. He's looking for Burris in the end zone. He's wide open, touchdown. And the Patriots will fail to go 19-0.
Losing can be difficult, but winning doesn't come easy either. It takes talent, hard work, and a bit of luck. But most of all, it takes a love for the game, something all 3 quarterbacks share.
I'm very passionate about the game of football. I love everything about it. I love practicing. I love working at it. I would play this game for free.
Peyton takes the snap, looks for the quick throw, lobs it in the corner to Marvin. Touchdown!
I'm a football player. Since I was 7, I was throwing the ball around, and that's what I wanted to be.
Brady fires it long and deep right side, caught, touchdown!
I think every kid dreams of playing football. I mean, I'm one of the few that it came true.
This crowd in full throw. Bard looks to throw. Rainbow's down the left sideline. Got a man out there. To the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown!
I think the legend just grew.
Manning, Brady, and Favre. They are living legends and future Hall of Famers. 3 championship quarterbacks at the top of their game who have never stopped reaching higher.
I don't think it matters whether you're playing in a Super Bowl or playing in a preseason game. You want to win.
The most important statistic is championships, and I wanted more.
You know what my favorite ring is? The next one. That's my favorite.
Seems like just yesterday we were here. Well, I think we all know why I'm here. First of all, sorry I'm late, but I am officially retiring from the NFL and Green Bay Packers. And as much as I've thought about what I would say and how I promised I wouldn't get emotional. It's never easy. You know, it's funny, I've watched hundreds of players retire. And you wonder what that would be like. Think you're prepared. But and I was telling Deanna on the way over here, God has blessed me with so many great things, ability, wonderful family. And I was flying up here today. I thought about so many different things and how I wanted to say some of the things that feel like I need to say. But he gave me an opportunity to use my abilities, and I seized that opportunity. And I thank him for that. I'd like to thank the Packers for giving me an opportunity as well. I hope that every penny that they've spent on me, they know it was money well spent. It was never about the money or fame or records. And I hear people talk about your accomplishments and things that it was never my accomplishments, it was our accomplishments. The teammates that I played with, and I can name so many. It was never about me, it was about everybody else. Just so happens that the position I played got most of the attention, but Packers have been, it's been a great relationship, and I hope that this organization and the fans appreciate me as much as I appreciate them. I can't leave without saying thanks to Ron Wolf and Mike Holmgren for giving me a chance when no one else would. I'd like to thank Mike McCarthy and Ted Thompson, Bob Harlan, Tom Clements, my recent quarterback coach, Darrell Bevel. Mike was my quarterback coach in '99. Andy Reid, Steve Mariucci, Mike Sherman, Ray Rhodes, Tom Rossley, and I could go through so many different names and players and seasons. It's been everything I thought it would be, and then some. And it's hard to leave. You think you're prepared for it. I know there's been comments and issues in the press lately about why I'm leaving, whether or not the Packers did enough
whether or not Ted and Mike tried to convince me to stay, none of those things have anything to do with me retiring. And that's from the heart. I've given everything I possibly can give to this organization, to the game of football, and I don't think I got anything left to give, and that's it. I know I can play, but I don't think I want to. And that's really what it comes down to. Fishing for different answers and what ifs and will he come back and things like that. What matters is it's been a great career for me, and it's over. As hard as that is for me to say, it's over. There's only one way for me to play the game, and that's 100%. And Mike and I had that conversation the other night. And I will wonder if I made the wrong decision. I'm sure on Sundays I will say I could be doing that. I should be doing that. I'm not going to sit here like other players maybe have said in the past and that I won't miss it, because I will. But I just don't think I can give anything else aside from the 3 hours on Sundays, and in football you can't do that. It's a total commitment. And up to this point I have been totally committed. And as I look back on my career, no regrets. No regrets whatsoever. I played the game one way, the only way I knew how. I can't leave without saying thank you to the fans. When I laughed and when my family laughed, they laughed. When I cried, they cried. When I cheered, they cheered. When I threw an interception, well, you know. But it was a perfect fit for me. Little old Southern boy from Hancock County who had big dreams, no different than any other kid, to play here, and there's no better place to play. I had a conversation with Ron Wolf yesterday, and we had that discussion. To be thought of as one of the best players to play in this league, and to be mentioned within an organization that has players like Reggie White and Bart Starr and Paul Horning and Willie Davis and Willie Wood and Herb Adderley and Jim Taylor, Ray Nitschke, Vince Lombardi. To be mentioned with those people, I'm honored, really. Yeah, I am honored. I hope everyone knows that how special this is. And I truly appreciate the opportunity. As they say, all good things must come to an end. But I look forward to whatever future may hold for me. And Deanna and our two girls, Brittany and Brelia, sincerely thank you, Deanna, and my family for being there, supporting me, going back and forth and switching schools and putting up with all those things. But hopefully I addressed a lot of the issues and spoke from the heart. I think last year, the year before, I was tired. And it took a while. But I came back. For something told me this time not to come back. And I had this conversation with Mike and Ted that it's a unique situation in that at 17 years I had one of the better years in my career. The team had a great year. Everything seems to be going great. Team wants me back. I still can play for the most part. Everyone would think I would be back, would want me back. That's a unique situation going into an 18th season. There's no guarantees next year, personally and as a team. And I'm well aware of that. And you know, it's a tough business. And last year and the year before, I questioned whether or not I should come back because I didn't play at a high enough level. Other people questioned that. I really didn't question my commitment. I just wondered, could I not play anymore? I know I can play. But this year was, and this is not the first year, but it really, to me, Indiana was more noticeable, the stress part of it. It's demanding. It always has been, but I think as I've gotten older, I'm much more aware of that. I'm much more aware of how hard it is to win in this league and to play at a high level. And I'm not up to the challenge anymore. I can play, but I'm not up to the challenge. And you can't just show up and play for 3 hours on Sunday. I have way too much pride, expect a lot out of myself, and if I cannot do those things 100%, then I can't play. I'm going out on top, believe me. I could care less what other people think. It's what I think, and I'm going out on top. It's been a wonderful career, and once again, I have no regrets. And as I think back about my career, and I've said this numerous times, that the losses and the bad plays, the ups and downs, all to me are important. I would hate to think that we were perfect all the time. You would never appreciate how tough it is to get there. And through every loss and every bad play, it made the plays like the first play in the overtime game against Denver so much sweeter. You know, as time passes, I don't know what I will do. Not really worried about it right now. I'll take it as it comes. People say, you know, do you have a plan? No, I don't. This is all I've ever done. And I'm proud of the fact that I've done it this long and at a high level. And this is a new phase in my life, and I don't know what that exactly means, but it's been a pretty good ride.